Hello, so I have found this lovely website here called jlptsensei.com, and I'll put it in the description so you can find it, check it out yourself. Now, the video that I want to talk about, or the subject, is that I'm starting to find that learning kanji is actually not a great idea. It's kind of ineffective and exhausting and doesn't really seem to lead anywhere. Now, that's not exactly true. It does build up a foundation of the language. But if you look at this one kanji here, which means day or sun, it has the onyomi and the kunyomi, which I've vaguely talked about, which here, nichi, jitsu, and then kunyomi is hi, bi, and ka. That's a lot to learn for one symbol. And the problem is that when you encounter this word, it's not always going to just be this little symbol here. Sometimes it is. So yeah, sometimes, but not always. So there is a better way actually than learning all of these. This is the JLPT N5. You've got N5 all the way to N1. Which is amazing. If you look at all this resource, you've got grammar, kanji, vocabulary, how to pass the test, all that stuff. The JLPT, it's basically I believe it's nationally or universally respected language test. So if you get that certification, you can basically, if you get N1, you can flash that around and say, hey, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I know this language. To anyone who get like a translation job, essentially, or even just a job in working in a Japanese company or whatever. But alas, if we go to vocabulary list, this is what I'm finding is actually better. Because if you're reading, say, a manga or a visual novel or a book, or you're listening to anime, or you're listening to Japanese TV or whatever, or even talking to people, you're going to be using vocabulary. If you look at this abunai, instead of just this kanji, I'm not sure what this one means, this kanji, maybe it means something to do with danger, but it would have a bunch of different pronunciations. Now, maybe this kanji is used in a lot of different vocabulary, so, learn the kanji might be good in that way because you can be like, well, I can kind of understand how the pronunciation is. But what I find is better is actually just to grind out a bunch of vocabulary. If you look at this here, ageru, that's a very common one. This is to raise, to elevate. And here, for example, it says you need a vocabulary of 800. This one has, I think, 643, which is a lot of words. Which is why I find it's kind of unrealistic to just grind them out and drawing them out over and over again. Or maybe you do that like 50 a day or 20 a day or something like that. It depends on you. But anyway, main thing is vocabulary, because these are legitimate words that are used. They're spoken and written, and if you see them written, they will be written this way. If you see them spoken, of course, they will be spoken this way. Denrai, telephone, densha, denki. As you see, all these have the electrical kanji here, so you'll kind of just vaguely learn the idea of kanji and all that through learning vocabulary as well. Or you can do a little bit of supplementary study. Basically, the main idea is learn vocabulary. It will serve you better, is what I'm finding. Again, all these are words. Dasu, that one's used a lot. Dare for who. Daisuki or ski for like or love and like. Daijobu, another one. Daigaku, university again. What's another? Chisai, Chisanade, very common. Chuchu. Excuse me. Shawan. It's a very Chinese sounding word. Probably his Chinese. maybe they have a different pronunciation in rice bowl, etc. So these are, as you can see, important words, which is made up of nouns, main verbs, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Adverbs and adjectives. Then you have the na and the e adjectives. Difference between these is they have a different way to use the negative or the not version of it. I recommend you look up Tai Kim's grammar guide. It's in the first few chapters. It'll teach you that. So basically, you got vocabulary, kanji, and grammar. In level N5 is the first level. I know it's N1. I think it's the first. It's actually not. So you go to N5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Once you're at 3, you're pretty much. Look, you could probably read most visual novels, most mangas, understand most things at N3, to be completely honest. At N1, you're like basically fluent. I would say you're almost natural. From what I know. So yeah, here's grammar, which is things like particles. Does it have a... No, it doesn't. Okay. Things like particles, for example. Or little grammatic words like de is in, at, on, by. It's somewhat of a directional at the place, or if you read it enough, you'll kind of understand what I mean. It's ga, subject particle, similar to wa, and you just have to again. There are explanations out there to how these work. I haven't thought about it enough to explain how they work, but if you just read a lot, you will just instinctively learn it. Yeah, so anyway, this is all partly particles and also other things. Ka, question particle, janai, dewanai, the nais of different adjectives, I believe they're called. Kata, another important one, for instance. Kata kedo, mada, maini, made, mo, na, naide, etc. These are these use lots and lots and lots. There's only 84 of them here. You get another probably 84 in here, and then it just keeps going on and on and on and on. Lots of shit to learn. But honestly, if you can learn like the grammar list and the vocabulary list of this, that's a really, really good start. Even like both of these together, because it really does go from most useful words, blue, to wash, that, to have, to be, to walk, morning, day after tomorrow, foot, or leg, arm, tomorrow, etc. These are very important. So anyway, yeah, I've just found that in my own mistakes is that learning vocabulary is actually better than learning kanji. And I found that just through reading visual novels, I actually found that I actually was learning vocabulary, and I thought it was kanji, but I was ended up learning vocabulary. So yeah, take that as it is, and I hope this helps you, and make sure to keep on studying.